Why do they never go in for me? Hi there everybody, yes, I'm back again with yet another batch of vinyl for you to enjoy me talking about and drone on and on and on and on and on. Yeah, this is a batch of records that I got online. Most of them I got off eBay, and one I got direct, I think from Bandcamp, Yeah, I did get it from Bandcamp. I'll start with that one in a moment. But this is the final batch of records that I bought in 2017. So I've actually turned over into 2018 at last. I've only got a load of stuff to show still, but there we go. So let's get on with it anyway. So the record that I got from Bandcamp is this one. So this is a band called Leggy. This Leggy are now, how do they describe themselves on their page? They are lush punk from Cincinnati. I guess they would describe themselves as girl, but spelt GRRL to describe themselves. Not necessarily Riot Girl, but they're on the punky end of things. So they're from did I say they were from Cincinnati? I don't know, but they're from Cincinnati. There's the back cover. I saw Leggy in Exeter in 2016. Yeah, I think it was, and I had a whale of a time. I did get a copy of their CD, a promo copy of their CD. And this is a remastered edition of that CD. This album is a compilation of of EP tracks. They released a few EPs, and then they put them out as a debut album with very little mastering or anything of the kind on the CD. So they've remastered it from the original tapes and then produced this lovely object. Came in two colours. It is coloured vinyl or colourless vinyl. There were two colours. You could either have pink or clear. I opted for the clear, so there's the label for those label freaks. This is great stuff. It is, I mean, as they say on their Bandcamp, it is lush punk. Some terrific tracks, and they're a great live band. So if they ever come near you, I would really recommend checking them out, because they're a great band. On Damnably Records, go check them out on Bandcamp. I love them. I love them. I think they're great. So there we go, Leggy. That's the first one. Right, the rest of them came in a few different batches from eBay. All cheap. There's one particular seller on eBay that I really do like, and he just sends a whole batch of records for £3 postage. So I usually end up buying more than one, just to take advantage of that. But it is good stuff. I don't just buy any old rubbish, as I hope you'll see. So the first one. So this rounds out my vinyl collection of Annie and Dave. Annie and Dave. Doesn't he look young there? Look at that. In fact, doesn't Annie look young there? Amazing stuff. So this is the Tourist debut album called The Tourists. There's the back cover. It does have the original information, because there is no information on the sleeve, so all the information is there. And this was produced by Connie Plank, who produced the debut Eurythmics album when Dave and Annie... Oh, stop it. Stop trying to fit things back in, do it later. He produced the debut album from the Eurythmics. There's the album. Where's the label? On Logo Records. This is a pretty good album. I enjoyed listening to this. Kind of power pop with lots of 60s overtones. Really good stuff. So, carrying on after a brief bout of camera trouble. So that was, I was talking about the Tourist album. Really good album. I also picked up this one, which is the Sugarcubes second album. Follow up to Life's Too Good. Really, it's a good album. There's the band. There we go. There's everybody. It is a good album. I do like this album. On the Facebook page, I put up, I listened to it and I put it up, and I said too much Ina though. Ina was the male vocalist in the band, with kind of what kind of scattershot, semi-spoken interjections in the songs. Personally, I find his contributions slightly annoying, and the thing about this record is there's a lot more Ina on this record than the other two, than Stick Around for Joy, which was their third album, and Life's Too Good. Now, I do like a bit of Ina on my Sugarcubes records, but not too much. And I think on this one there's just a little bit too much. And I do remember listening to this at the time and thinking that it's not something I've thought suddenly dreamt up. I guess all along I probably just wanted a Bjork solo album, and that's what we got eventually. So fair enough. So there's the lyric inner, and quite plain labels. So there we go. An A and a B. But there's some really good songs on here. The big single of this one was Regina, and I think that scraped the top 50 in the UK, which for a band like the Sugarcubes was amazing, to be honest, that they got anywhere near the singles chart, to be honest. This album did make the UK top 20 albums. Just show that in all its glory for one more time. So yeah, I'm really happy I picked that one up. I do have to get a copy of Life's Too Good on vinyl. I've only got it on a cassette at the moment. I mean, I've had that cassette for like 30 years, but it'd be nice to get it finally on vinyl. I do have Birthday on 7-inch vinyl. I also picked up this one, which is Bronski Beat's debut album, The Age of Consent. This, of course, includes Small Town Boy, which was a really groundbreaking song in the early 80s, dealing with themes of homosexuality and being looked down upon because of that, and rising above it, really, especially the video helped that. But the whole and also whereas Small Town Boy you may seem the subject of the song as being a victim, another single called Why is much more abrasive and in your face and protesting, yes, I'm gay, why you treat me like this. So it's much more questioning. Brilliant cover of Ain't Necessarily So. It is absolutely gorgeous. The rest of the album's okay. Some of the songs are okay. Need a Man Blues is good. I think Jimmy Somerville's voice was best when he seemed to be better at tackling slower songs. I think his voice is a bit of an acquired taste. It does get a bit screechy at times, but when he tackles those kind of more soulful songs where he can put a bit of grit into it, into his voice. It seems to work best, I would say. Great. I really enjoyed listening to this as well. I thought it was a great album. So really pleased I picked that one up. Right, what else did I get? Oh, yes. Lots of talk on the Facebook group about this band, Thin Lizzy. How it's hard to get hold of these in the wild. It is hard. I very rarely see Thin Lizzy records in the wild in good shape. I've now seen 2 copies of Johnny the Fox, and both of them have been mucked up. Really poor quality looking records. I guess the only way to get hold of this lot is online. So this is a later repress of this. It's a nice price, or priceless reissue of this. But this is a terrific album. This is my first Thin Lizzy vinyl album. But there's some really good songs on it. Emerald is great. Jailbreak, of course. Warriors, really good stuff. With the short story on the back. Great record. Now this cover of the next one is in really poor shape. In fact, I'm surprised it's holding together, to be honest. But the record is actually in really nice shape. So this is Sparks' debut album, originally recorded as Half Nelson. Obviously it's more of a band effort rather than just a Ron and Russell record. So there is more input from the other band members, but it's got the basic building blocks of the Sparks sound that we came to know and love. And I really liked it. Actually, this is my first Sparks album on vinyl as well. Came with the original lyric sheet with a lovely brick on the other side. On Bearsville Records, so I think this is might be a later pressing, I'm not sure. Or is it an American pressing, I'm not sure. There's the Bearsville label anyway. I have to listen to this more, but I loved the first hearing I heard of it. Really, really good stuff. So yeah, you can see the state of the look at that. It's barely together. But it was cheap. It was a couple of quid, I think, and I thought, right, bung that into the basket. Get that as well. Also got a copy of this one. I wanted to hear this for the longest time. Alice's Restaurant by Arlo Guthrie. Side 1 is just Alice's Restaurant. It's one long track recorded live. Well, seems to be recorded live. Who knows? I think it was recorded live. I don't know whether there were overdubs, but it's really funny. It's such a funny song, a truly funny song, not just a comedy record. About the story of how Arlo was busted for littering, and then this led to being rejected from the draft to go to Vietnam, and it's just really funny. And the songs on side 2 are kind of folky, rocky, slightly rocky selection of suite of songs, and just lovely album. It is a lovely album, and if you get a chance to listen to Alice's Restaurant Massacre, not sure, do it. It's well worth listening to. I thought it was hilarious. Right, let's leave that one later. Right, next up, whoops, picked up a John Mayall compilation. Not the greatest condition record. It's got damage and stuff, but the music is great on it. Music is absolutely great. It's seems to be tracks. I guess it's a. I haven't investigated properly, but it seems to be. I don't know whether you can see those, but it seems to be a selection of tracks from these albums. So Blues Breakers, Hard Road, Diary of a Band, Crusade, Blues from Laurel Canyon. It seems Blues Alone. So it seems to be a collection of tracks from these albums. But John Mayall, you can't really go wrong. It's great stuff. Right, what else did I get? Oh yeah, this one. I've got a real... There's a lot of folky stuff in this batch. An awful lot of it. And here's some more. This is Commoner's Crown by Steel Eye Span. And that, I think that's a brilliant piece of sculpture. It's a crown made of tiny figures of people. Love that. And this is great. English folk mixed with quite, at times, fairly heavy rock. But there's lots of traditional English songs. Long Lanking, Dogs and Ferrets, Gulty Farmer, Little Sir Hugh. Really good stuff. Of course, it's Maddie Pryor singing on a lot of it, and I love her voice. I think she's a great singer. So there we go. Commoner's Crown, Steel Eye Span. I'm whizzing through these because I'm trying to keep the length of my videos down, and I had a lot of records to go through here. Right, little bit of blues that I also picked up. This is a good listen. Loaded with the Blues, Chicago Blues All Stars. I know very little about these. There is a lot of information on the inside. Seem to be based in Germany. Well, this is I think this was recorded in Germany. So, the players on here are some of it's in the... here we go, is the English. Willie Dixon is on here. Sunnyland Slim, Big Water Shaky Horton, Johnny Shines, and Clifton James. I really do need to do some more research. They've only got brief sketches about these people. I mean, Willie Dixon, I know about Willie Dixon. The others I'm not too sure about. But this is a German pressing on MPS. Lovely condition record. Don't think it'd hardly been played when I got it. Here we go. There's the back cover. Who is that? That is that Willie Dixon? Might be Willie Dixon himself with the cake. Looks like him. There we go. Really good blues. Really good blues. Right, 3 more left. I picked this one up just because I like the look of the cover, and I didn't know anything about them. This is Ian Lloyd and Stories, and this is Travelling Underground. I think this is their 3rd album. Might be wrong about that. I think they had one big hit in the States. Don't ask me. I don't know. I know very little about them, but this is great rocking stuff. Kind of got a southern feel to it, I think. With some soul sort of bundled into it. Well, some of the songs anyway. They seem to be sort of doing the southern rock thing with a bit of soul into it. I mean, I love that picture of the band. There we go. Love that. So there's the back cover. On Kama Sutra. And I love the car. Actually, this is one of my favourite labels. Record's not in the best of shape, but it plays fine. But I love the Kama Sutra label. I really like that. That's one of my favourites, I think. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And no, I don't love the label because of the religious overtones. I just think it's pretty. But this was a great record. I really enjoyed listening to this. Don't know much about Ian Lloyd. I will have to read up more about him, but I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I will look out for other stuff. Bit of metal to finish off with. Good friend of mine back, well, ages ago, before he started opening his taste up to other genres of music, he was sort of an AOR man. He liked sort of the softish end of metal with AOR, really into it, had loads of records, and I'm sure he had this one. But I remember listening to some of this stuff, and I thought it was alright. But I thought, well, let's get this. So this is Y&T. This is Mean Streak. It's a good metal album. Not out and out. It's like the early part of hair metal, really. Before the hairspray became more important than the guitar. So Dave Meniketti, lead vocals and lead guitar, it was basically his band. Y&T stands for Yesterday and Today. Really good stuff. Is it just what label is it on? Oh, it's just a bog standard A&M label. I'm not going to show that. Plain enough. But from that cover, you know what you're getting. You know you're getting a metal album. You know the kind of genre you're getting. And I really enjoy listening to it. I do like bunging on this kind of metal every so often. Sort of Y&T, Rat, all that kind of stuff. This was great. It was a good listen. Quite varied in the songwriting. Not just heads down, no mindless riffing. It's they changed the rhythms and stuff quite well on this. So there is a bit of variety in the tracks, which makes it a better listen. So I've enjoyed that anyway. Right, final record of this batch. I saw this and I eventually got it for £1, and I thought, I'm having this because I don't have any records from where I live at the moment. So this is Music and Folklore from Devon, Just One More Song. It was originally put together for some, I don't know, by Devon County Council for some festival they're having in France, obviously promoting British culture at some point. And this is a collection of songs from Devon, traditional English folk from all over the county of Devon. So we've got stories. What was that? Oh, God, the original. Somebody bought it for $1.99 at the National Trust. It must have been sitting there for years before somebody bought it, and then they probably only played it once because it is absolutely lovely condition. So yeah, you've got the stories of where the songs come from, and what's really nice is you've got a map. Can you see that? Map of Devon, showing the areas that all the songs come from. So you've got none from Exeter, but they're all over the place. So north, south, east, and west, around Plymouth, up near Barnstable, down near Torquay. A couple of songs from Torquay, one from South Brent. So over the last 15 years, I've been all over the county of Devon, and I know a lot of these places really well. So it's really nice to have some music that kind of reflects the history of the place I live in. And yeah, it's traditional folk, played really traditionally, but you've got all kinds of things. You've got handbells being used on here. You've got obviously guitars. There's vocal only tracks. There's more religious songs. There's really bawdy, naughty songs. So yeah, it's a really good mix of music. I love listening to that. I do like a bit of folk, and you can't get much more hardcore folk than that, to be honest. Great stuff. So there we go. I think somehow my phone seems to have slipped a bit. Whoa, there we go. That's a good ending to the video. Anyway, before my phone slips there we go. Before my phone slips any more, time to round off, sign off, even. So next video, it's going to be 2018 vinyl. Yay! Thanks for everybody for watching. I hope this showed some bands that maybe you were unaware of. I know some of these bands I hadn't got a clue until I just saw them on there, and I thought, I like the cover of that. Going for that one. Never heard of that. Get that. So, yeah, some blind buys in there. So that, and when they work out well, it's really nice, isn't it? Right. Cheers, VC. See you all later. Bye.